Welcome back to Simple Life with Chris and Tara. Well, I talked before about the giveaway, and I think we've decided. Here's the beautiful specimen. So this will definitely be our befores, but it's actually a Wagner. I'm a Wagner guy. I like Wagners. Some people are Lodge, some people are Griswold. I like Wagners. So we're going to restore this one, and this will be the one we give away when we hit 5,000 subs. So you'll have a nice before of what your pan looked like right here. And now we're going to go put it in the E-tank. If you look right here, real close, you can see it's a Wagner. Hopefully we'll see it better here in a couple days. Down it goes, and then we're going to flick the switch. And so the process begins. Alright guys, I'm sure you remember how nasty this giveaway skillet looked when we put it in. So let's see, I left it in a little extra. Let me shut this off. Let's see. Well, looking pretty good. So, looking way better. I think this will work. Let me get to the house and we'll do the next part of getting it all cleaned up. But all the rust and carbon is gone, so now we're just going to clean it up a little bit and then we can start seasoning. And you can see it's coming along, it's just getting a little bit cleaner. And as you can see, it's just getting a little better and a little better. It's nice to see once we got it out that there were no cracks or anything, because a lot of times you'll go to clean one, it'll be covered with carbon and you get it all off and there's a crack, but this one looks good. I'm just going to scrub it a little bit more and then I'll show you what we do after that. So once you're done scrubbing it with the scouring pad, I like to use just these blue shop towels and a little more Dawn, and just start kind of scrubbing it. I'm just going to get some of this black off that come off of there while we were cleaning it with the scouring pad. Kind of keep going until the majority of that black stops coming off. Said we're just down to bare cast iron at this point. And once you get done washing it, I'll show you what we do next. Alright, so now we're just going to dry it all off. And you can see there's a little bit of black comes off, but majority of it we got. Once you get it pretty much dried off, you gotta kind of hurry along because we don't have to flash rust or anything. So once we get it pretty much dried off, I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil on here until I get it in there to season. That way I don't get any kind of flash rust. This will keep it protected until we can get it in the oven to start that process. ended up with at this point. So next is getting it in the oven and starting the seasoning. So you want to check on it a little bit after you put some, because you can see it's soaked it up. It's drying up a little bit, so I'm going to add a little bit more just to keep it coated until we get it in to start seasoning. So they're kind of heavy right now, but I'm going to leave it like that and see how much more it's going to soak up. Today we're going to finish seasoning our giveaway pan. If you guys remember what it looked like when we started, we've cleaned it in the E-tank, scrubbed it up. I just had a little coat of oil on it while we were waiting to season it. So today we're going to go ahead and season it. I like to use Buzzy Wax. You can use whatever kind of oil you want. Just make sure you look at the flash temperature. I just like to use this. So to start things off, we're going to open the pores of the cast iron by just putting it in at 250. And once this comes up to temperature, we'll take it out and put on our first coat. Okay, so it's been warming up at 250 for about 20 minutes. So now we're going to get it out and put on our first coat. It's not too hot on this one. It's when you bring it out next time is when it's pretty smoking hot. So, I'm going to get some on your rag. And it don't take a ton because you're going to wipe all this off. Okay. Make sure you get around the edge of it and your handle. So with everything on the top side first. Then I like to use the blue shop towels because they won't leave any kind of lint balls or anything like that. And you just want to really wipe all of this off. I mean, like I said before, you wipe it off like you're allergic to it. You don't want it on there, because very common mistake is people leave too much on, and then they pull it out and it has looks like leopard spots all over it. And they're like, "What happened? What did I do?" And too much oil. Okay, once we get oil on everything, again, just wipe everything down. And I'm going to crank the heat up to 450 now. Alright. It's ready to go in. And make sure, this is important, to put it upside down. Because if you season it like this, it could tend to pool up in here and leave marks that you don't want to see. So always put it upside down when you're seasoning. It's going to take a little while to get up to the 450, but as soon as it gets up to 450, we're going to leave it in there for 1 hour. Alright, so it's been an hour. Now is when you really got to be careful, because they're going to be way hotter than when you put the first coat on last time. We just repeat the same process that we did last time. Like I said, you're going to have to be a lot more careful on this coat because it will burn you in a hurry. And again, we're just going to have to wipe it off really good. Try and get all that oil you just put on there back off, because it's in the pores. You don't have to worry about wiping it all off. It's in there and it's going to season. This is going to make somebody a really great little pan. So number 8 is the most common size, and you can see here, because this says it's a the catalog number here would be a 1058. So if this was a 10-inch pan, it would say 1060. And even though 8's the most common size, I've never heard anyone complain about having a number 10 or 12. All right, we got it all wiped down. Now we're going to put it back in for another hour. All right, so it's been another hour. That's 2 coats down. We're going to put 1 more coat on. Again, extremely hot. Looking good. Don't have any blotchy marks or anything like that on it. Okay, we got her all rubbed down again. You can make it through a seasoning of a pan without getting burnt. Call it a victory. All right, let's do the bottom side. Always kind of look to make sure there's no lint or fuzz or anything that's fell on them. It's really best to do it like with 100% cotton, like a t-shirt, not necessarily a rag like this. All right, back in for another hour. And then when it's done for the final coat, we're just going to turn the oven off and leave it sit in there, usually overnight because it takes a long time. So it'll just gradually cool down. You don't have to worry about anything warping or doing anything weird. It's just good for it to cool down nice and slow as the oven cools down. So I'll show you the finished product when it comes out for the last one. We're all done with our 3 coats of seasoning. And now, once I get it out, it's cooled down, I like to go ahead and just put on a little bit of, I usually use a little bit of olive oil. You can use avocado oil, whatever your favorite is to use. I like to put on a little and rub it in for one last coating and let it sit. Sometimes it might soak a little in, but if nothing else, it's just kind of a good thing I like to do before I hang it on the rack to store where it's time to use it. And I mean, you don't want it soaking wet. You're gonna get it all wiped out, but I just kind of like how it makes it look. And as you can see, it comes clean. There's no more blackness when you're wiping it. You do the same thing on the back side. Like I said, if you can remember how bad this pan was when we started, how rusted up it was, definitely looks a lot better now. And as long as someone takes care of it, this pan should last another 100 years. All right, so here is the finished product. Wagner, number 8. Stylized logo, catalog number, smooth bottom. So this would be from 1935 to 1959. It was in really rough shape when we started, and as you can see, it still has a little bit of pitting in the bottom, but still very usable pan. So there you go, guys. Another restored pan from start to finish. Hope you enjoyed the process and the journey with this one. It was a little rougher than some of the normal ones I start with, but we just wanted to get it all done up for you so you could see how it is. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.